Good morning, this is Kasturi Day. Today again I have come to discuss the question answer series of physical quantities and measurement chapter according to ICSE syllabus class 8. Okay, so I'm starting with question number 30, short and long questions. Okay, so how does the density of a liquid change with the rise in its temperature? See, when a liquid is heated in a beaker or any other vessel, then the liquid close to the bottom of the vessel expands. Okay, and therefore its density decreases. As it expands, so its density decreases. This lighter liquid, then what happens? The molecules gain kinetic energy and they rise up, okay, in the vessel, and that area where the lighter liquid was there, that area becomes vacant, and the cold and dense liquid from the upper and the side regions, they come and flow down towards the base of the vessel and take its place. Okay, and this forms a convection current, and due to this current the whole mass of the liquid is heated. Okay, therefore with the rise in temperature their density decreases, and with the fall in temperature their density increases. Okay, now next question is, how does the density of gases change with the rise in temperature? Here also, like the liquids, gases also, the density of the gases decrease with the rise in temperature and density increases with the fall in temperature. Okay, next is, what is the importance of above phenomena in the formation of weather? Okay, this convection current. The convection current in the gases for which the gas is heated are responsible for the formation of weather. Okay, the land and the sea breezes, the monsoon, the westerlies, all are formed due to this natural cause, natural convection current which is formed in the nature. Okay, so due to these regions, the this land breeze, this land and sea breezes, monsoon, westerlies, these are all formed. Okay, now how is the land breeze formed? Explain. See, as the sun sets, after the sunset, what happens? Both the land and the sea start cooling. Okay, but we know that land cools faster than the water. So, land cools faster than the sea. So, the air above the sea, that remains warm. As the sea is heated, it remains warm. So, that air above the sea also remains warm, and hence what happens, as the warm air, the density of the air is less, so what happens, the warm air rises up, hence less denser, so it rises up, and the cool air from the land, they come towards the sea, that is land breeze occurring. So cool air from the land, they come towards the sea. Okay, so the air pressure on the sea water, that comes down, as the less dense air that rises up, so air pressure on the sea, that sea water, that comes down, and to take its place, that due to the drop in pressure, the cold and the dense air from the land, they start blowing towards the sea, and that causes land breeze. Okay, again, how is the sea breeze formed? Explain. Again, in this way, that when the sun rises and shines equally on the surface of the land and the sea, so the land becomes heated faster than the sea. Okay, so the warm air, the air above the land, that becomes heated up as the land gets heated. So that air becoming less denser, density is becoming less, it rises up, causing a drop in the pressure, air pressure, and to make up that drop in the pressure, the cool air from the sea starts blowing towards the land, which causes the sea breeze. Okay, now how do you measure density of an irregular solid? By using a Eureka can. Okay, see, a Eureka can consists of an iron vessel which is provided with a spout. Okay, this can be filled with water till the point of overflowing. Okay, now under the spout a measuring cylinder is placed. The solid whose density has to be measured, that is gently lowered into the can, and the solid then displaces its volume in the water, displaces water according to its volume, So that water which it has displaced, that overflows out through the spout into the and falls into the measuring cylinder. Now the level of water is noted, and that gives the volume of the water which has overflowed in the measuring cylinder, and that gives the volume of the solid, say that is V centimeter cube. Now the mass of the solid is determined by a physical balance very accurately, say it's m grams. So density will be equal to mass by volume, that is m by v grams per centimeter cube. See, this is the picture of a Eureka can which has a spout, and the water which is filled, that is kept just at the spout, at where the spout is beginning, at the brink of the spout. So what happens after that, after the water has been filled till the spout, the solid which has to be measured, the irregular solid which has to be measured, that is generally lowered into the water. Then the water rises up, okay, as it displaces its own volume, the water, it displaces its own volume, this water rises up as the solid is lowered, okay. Then this water which has risen up, that comes through the spout, out through the spout, and it drops into the measuring cylinder, okay. Now we note down the reading of the measuring cylinder, which gives the volume of the irregular solid, and this mass is measured by a physical balance, and that will be density will be mass by volume. That gives the density through a Eureka can, okay. Now describe a comparison of densities in the three states of matter. See, in case of solids, the intermolecular spaces are very small, okay, and intermolecular forces are very large. So therefore what happens, the molecules are tightly packed in a small volume, okay. As density is equal to mass by volume, therefore the solids have high density due to their small volume. They have a small volume because they are tightly packed, no, and their intermolecular spaces are less, whereas intermolecular forces are very strong, very large. So they are in a compact shape, compact body. The volume is small. Therefore, with the small volume, the density will be more. Then in case of liquid, excuse me, the intermolecular spaces are somewhat large, and the intermolecular forces are fairly small as compared to the solid. Therefore, what happens? The molecules of the liquids are not as tightly packed as in the solid. Okay, so they are not in such a small volume as compared to the solids. Therefore, the liquids have less density than the solids. In case of gases, their intermolecular spaces are 1,000 times or more than the liquids. Okay, and their intermolecular forces are very weak. Okay, that weakens the intermolecular force, that is intermolecular spaces, as their intermolecular spaces are very large, therefore the intermolecular forces are also very negligible. It's very negligible magnitude. So the molecules of the gas are free to move in any directions, and so what happens, they occupy all the available spaces, okay. And so gases have very less volume, very large volumes rather, okay. Gases have a very large volume, and so they have a very low density as compared to the solids and liquids, okay. Now we come to some numericals, okay. So we see a piece of wood of mass 150 grams is a volume of 200 centimeter cube. Find the density of wood in CGS system and SI system. See, density is, we know that mass by volume it comes to. So mass is given 150 and volume is given 200. So in CGS system, it is 150 by 200, that gives to 0.75 grams per centimeter cube. Only the unit changes, okay. In the first, the unit remains the same because mass is given in the CGS unit only, that is gram, and in volume it is centimeter cube. So density will be mass by volume, that is 0.75 grams per centimeter cube. But in SI system, we need to multiply this density that is in CGS system into 1000, okay. We multiply it by 1000. So that gives to 750 kg per meter cube. Okay, that is 0.75 into 1000, that is 750 kg per meter cube, or 750. Okay, that is the SI system density. Then 5 liters of kerosene oil is found to weigh 4.4 kgs, but find the density of kerosene oil in CGS and SI system. And this again 550 kg it is given, and volume is given in liters, that is 5 liters. Okay, so in CGS system, see 440 kgs, 4.4 kgs, sorry, 4.4 kgs. Okay, 4.4 kgs, or you can say 4.40 into 1000 grams, and 5 liters, that is changed into 5 ml, I mean 5 into 1000 ml or centimeter cube. So that gives to 4.40 into 1000, and 5 divided by 5 into 1000, that it gives to 0.88 grams per centimeter cube, that is in CGS system. Then SI system we need to multiply it by 1000, that gives to 880 kg per meter cube. Okay, so I'll stop here. I'll continue with the rest of the numericals in my next video. Please go through this. If you have any doubt, please do write in the comment box. Hope you like the videos, and if you are liking it, please to press the like button and also share with your friends so that they can also be benefited from this. And if you want to know some other points of this chapter or any other chapter, or if you have any other questions regarding this or any other chapter which I have taught, so please do write in the comment box so that I can discuss with you. Okay, and if you are a new viewer to my channel and not subscribed yet, please do subscribe to get the notification of my next video. Thank you.